Hello and welcome back to the $10,000 CMG Rogue Company main event for November. We just witnessed an amazing grand finals where it went to the very, very final round. Map 5, round, what is it, round 15, 17, 16, something. Either way, the
15,
final
16,
round,
something
yeah,
like that.
15, something like that, around there. It's a ton of rounds. Either way, it went to the very, very final round between Justus and Right Turtle. We got to see both teams get pushed to their limit, and now we are going to be having Justus going down to play against Koolin and company. This is going to be a good one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket for today and how we got to this place. As you guys can see, Koolin was able to take out Bullville in losers round 5. That was definitely an upset after they were able to make top 4 yesterday. Koolin, they shocked the world. I gotta say, a few teams were shocked in major ways yesterday. We had teams like Elevate. They ended up getting knocked out by 437 EU. 437 EU moved on to play Koolin. Koolin then beat 437 EU. Then Koolin beat Bullville to get this morning to get to this point. And that was a best of 5 as well that they did play against Bullville. So winning a best of 5, that is a major statement on this squad in Bullville, because listen, that Bullville squad, they're nothing to push over. Let's be honest, that Bullville team, they took out Fank, Nash, Drew, and
Right.
yes,
Yeah.
that was just yesterday. That was literally just
Yeah.
yesterday that they took them out. So now this team in Koolin beating this team in Bullville that already knocked out one of the juggernauts in this tournament. Like, I don't know if Koolin just got lucky or what happened, but here they are. They are top 3. It's that simple. They've proved that they have the
Yeah.
skill to make it to top 3 in the main event, and I couldn't be more excited for them.
And what a team to prove your worth against as well. I mean, going up against Justus Roco, that is no tall order. I mean, we saw how back and forth they were fighting against Right Turtle. I cannot imagine they took that loss lying down. They are probably itching to get back into another game. So Koolin have to bring everything that they could possibly imagine. You're going up against one of the best teams for sure in the league, and it's something it is that I would be greatly worried about if I were on Team Koolin.
Yeah, man, this next match is going to be absolutely insane. Let's go ahead and take a look at the maps that we're going to be getting for this best of 5. It's going to be Canals Demolition, Palace King of the Hill, Breach Demolition, and then, if necessary, Wanted King of the Hill and Windward Demolition. Man, oh man, if we get to see that Wanted King of the Hill, I'll be very happy. I love that map. I love how it's being played in comp currently. That's going to be exciting. But first and foremost, we got to go to Canals.
Yeah, Canals, what a map to start things off on as well. Something that was the midpoint for us in the set. In the last set, it was that we witnessed with Justus Roco and Right Turtle will now be where we start things off. And that is one of those maps where I also would imagine that Runway is very, very strong and a great pick that you will actually have to utilize on this map. I can imagine seeing her in the ban column, but it doesn't seem like the teams feel the same way. They actually are going to go for the Glitch and Ronin. To me, that also makes sense because we're talking about a situation where Glitch really has a lot of control just based off of his intel alone. While it may not be his primary purpose, it's still something you have to keep in mind, and being able to make sure that you can flank or rotate, he's going to keep tabs on that at all times, and it gives him such strong mid control. But where Talon is available, you have that to sort of make up for that glitch. Both Glitch and Ronin in the ban column means that there's more opportunities for other teams to get drafted. So, or the characters.
Oh yeah, completely correct. Talon right now, especially on the defensive side, is pretty much a staple. He's a super good rogue at clearing things out, making sure you understand where players are going to be coming from, and zoning out players. Anytime somebody's revealed, they want to back up, get out of that circle. So if you put it in the right place, you can really help your team out. That's the reason Talon has been such a big part of this map in the recent times. You can see the bans coming out already. Ronin and Glitch, they got him out of here. You can see it looks like Kaons is going to be hovering that Talon and going to be locking it in. Pixie thinking about the Talon, switched over to the Runway, though. Got to see exactly what they're going to be logging in. A Kestrel on the defensive side, and yes, they're going to go with the Runway option for the side of Justus. Man, got to say, Justus right now, they're probably, like you said, feeling a little bit down. Now they know that if they win this series right here, they got to go right back up and play a best of 5. Not only win that best of 5, but they have to beat them in another best of 5 after that, and that is just grueling to have to deal with.
And they actually do lock in the Runway on the side of Justus Roco. Meanwhile, Koolin not going to quite go for it here. Instead, they're going to lock in the Talon, the character was that I mentioned before. Like I said, like you don't have the glitch to actually benefit off of. So instead, you take the Talon. The Radar Dart, it's still something that you have to keep in mind. And with no Ronin being in the game, it makes things a little bit easier. Banning the glitch, getting rid of the Ronin makes things way, way simpler for Talon to be able to do his job with the radar dart.
Oh, yes, completely. Now we get to see exactly how these comps are going to be shaking up. You got a trench on one side. The only intel they have on the defense is the Talon, and that's not a bad thing. I won't say I won't say that it's a good thing either, because that is your only intel. So wherever you put that Talon dart, you got to pretty much hope and pray that they either go there or you keep it in your back pocket, keep on bringing it back, keep checking and clearing things out, because that Talon dart is going to be so necessary for them. I do think that they maybe should have went with the Dallas instead of the Kestrel, but hey, listen, to each their own. It's all about comfortability. Let's see what this team's got in store today.
Yeah, they were able to grab things out of the runway briefcase, drops it down early, gives them plenty of that util to deal with, and now the match should actually start. Something it is I would greatly be worried about. They are going to get revealed, which tells them enough. They are going to have to rotate in time to make sure they can make it onto site easy. Those Dahlia smokes coming in handy. No one's quite able to push in how they want to quite yet. They are going to start things off by getting it down on Ink. That's one accounted for, but the smoke is going to be used to cover.
Yeah, and Elvin re-downed Ink. Another one drops. That's going to be Pixie. Big Kestrel ult, but not able to find anything. Unfortunate. That nade going to be coming out, not doing any damage as well. So they just had two players drop for nothing on the side of Justus. Koolin looking poised and ready to take an early advantage in this best of 5 that we've got going on.
Yeah, so far, already 2 downs available to them. They are still trying to at least keep the pressure on. Swinging around the corner, they will be able to find the last 2, and that's going to be Koolin affording themselves the first point here on Canals against Justus Roco.
Oh, yeah, big time. Now we got this squad. They are down 0-1. No real money to their name. Pixie was able to get 1 revive last round, but that is the only stat that they're going to have for the side of Justus. It means they're going to have a lot of guns for this team in Koolin, and that is going to be a major advantage for them for sure.
Seems like right now things are becoming a little bit harder to try and deal with. Bad start to the first round, but Justus Roco obviously still have plenty under their belt. These guys are veterans for a reason. They've been in the trenches before. They've had to deal with a lot of unfavorable situations, just as they have as many good, well-versed matchups that they've been able to play before, have the pleasure of playing before. But here we are in a situation where they are not looking they're looking great, or even better, I should say. Gets the immediate down on the Haitian and tries to at least keep the pressure on them for the time being.
And you can see right now, Kaon's with this padded steps. He's just trying to make sure that they aren't going to be able to cut through middle to go to A. And if they do, he's going to have a C4 waiting for them. The trench getting knocked down and finished off was a major, because not only is his Trench's APs, his barbed wire, every single part of Trench is necessary. So him not being on the map, it's going to make this retake that much harder for this Koolin squad 3v4.
Sin playing around the corner. Pix does have a great angle already, but is going to back up from that one. Elvin was able to get the down on Delana, but the minute that you peek Pix, that is going to be a kill for them. They're finding the kills back and forth, but still Justus have the lead in terms of numbers. Cal has to be careful with how he's actually going to push this one. Instead, they are going to keep the pressure on him while somebody sits back and defuses the bomb. Or not defuses the bomb, but keeps the pressure alive for their team. That is going to be a 1-for-1 tie on the side of Justus Roco.
Oh, yeah. And now the big question is what do you do from here on out? That push did work, but mainly that plant worked because you were already, you're already able to find a pick, and you can't bank on that happening every single time. You can't bank on getting first blood for pretty much free like that. So we just got to see exactly how this is going to go down right now. Are they going to opt to go back to A? Or are they going to say, you know what, B's been working. We're going to go ahead and make this thing work over at this B bomb site and push out the backside. We've seen a bunch of teams do it all throughout the day, all throughout the weekend. It's just going to be all about making sure that you get those P's and Q's down pat for this losers finals. I can't believe we're already here.
Yeah, see, it was like right now, still trying to hold the same angle that we saw before. Haitian's not going to peek this time because he knows that they are watching. But I don't think they're going to give it up too easily. Throws at the barbed wire, but instead, What's going to do is just allow them at least some good leeway onto the objective. Gronky is going to find one. They're at least able to get ink, but they're keeping the pressure on them. They are so unbelievably weak, tossing out that barbed wire and then forfeiting that much space. Once again, Cal is the last member standing here, and he is going to get taken out. That's going to make things a 2-1 for Justus Roco here in the losers bracket finals.
Oh yeah, Justus is playing super solid right now on this offensive end after these last 2 rounds at least. You know, they just got to keep up that momentum. B worked out that time. Let's see if it can work again. You know, they do have some ways to stop the flank with the claymores coming out of the runway. But aside from that, they don't really have much, you know, aside from, I mean, maybe the Dallas can go to one side, snap, things like that. But really all out pushing this beat bomb side, I'm a fan of it. I like it.
It seems like right now, the match will start out once again. Going to try and use what they can as they drop down the runway briefcase, I believe. And everyone has now stocked up on their extra utility. Seems like things are becoming a little bit better. Is holding the angle against Haitian right now. Still, it's always watching that mid. It's you have to force out the person that's watching that like away from holding that, because it gives them too much space. They can see that Pix is there, so all he's going to do is just pretty much just wait and chill. He can't really peek, and he knows it's going to be curtains if he tries to. He's just going to wait for them to try and see if they can push, and instead has to forfeit the mid spot once again, tossing out the barbed wire and just playing passively.
Oh yeah, he still does have a claymore in his back pocket, does the trench as well. You see Dallas trying to do something across the map on the other side of it, but the Kestrel does have the bomb, so it is going to be another B push. 40 seconds left. They're able to take out Sinmade, though. Not sure what he was doing pushed so far up. Elvin and Pixie in a little bit of a staring match, trying to figure out who's going to peek who first. See the Kestrel Jones coming out. Claymore kill getting on to Lina as well. Ink downs Elvin, but Galaxy's going to be dropping too, and now it's just going to be a 1v4 situation. Justus, excuse me, are not looking like they're going to be letting any rounds go for free, as they were barely able to get that trench up, man. And now it's going to be a 2v4 retake against one of the best teams in the world. This is going to be extremely difficult for Koolin.
Yeah, bomb planet. Seeing what they can find here is going to get the down on the crossover. They know that Haitian is in mid, and they're going to find that opportunity to push him out and away. Runs into Gronky, tries to retreat, but not going to find it. Gronky will meet his unfortunate down at the hands of a Claymore, but they will be able to clutch this round out still, making things a 3-1. It has been going pretty poorly in terms of them trying to hold with defense. I think that the biggest issue so far has been the fact that they've still been making it onto site every single time. Like, I think in all honesty, I think if he's going to use that barbed wire, they're like, because he uses it to try and prevent them from chasing him, but they're not going to chase him. They push over there and try and get him to burn his utility. The minute that they do, they just leave him alone and go to site. Like, that's just how that is. Like, I would definitely say, don't even worry about utilizing the barbed wire. If you are going to use it, I would say that you should need to maybe even push it up a little bit further. Throw out a more aggressive barbed wire if you can manage to afford to do that. But if not, then you are going to have to play where he's playing right now, which is more on site, which is what I was just about to say. You have to pretty much just forfeit mid if you're going to do that, and have someone play back by your spawn to see if anyone actually flanks through. You still have a decent enough angle to do so.
Yeah, you can see the defensive Claymore coming out from the offensive team, essentially saying, bet, if you want to reflank us, you got to deal with a Claymore on the side. KO is able to take out Gronky. That's going to be a big pick in the middle, and they get the full kill as well. Oh, that's a big 1v1 coming out of Pixie. Winning that fight against Galaxy. Bounce Nade going to be coming out. Sinmade looking for this player, doing everything that he can. That player is going to get out, though. This is now a 2v3 situation. Kestrel has the bomb in hand. Let's see if she's going to be planting it for this spawn. It looks like that is going to be the case. Nade not going to do anything into that trophy, and I don't know what that was. I'm surprised that he went for the Kestrel right there, but you know, hey, to each their own. 3-2 advantage right now for Justus.
Yeah, I would definitely say that it would be a little. I actually like how they played that there. I like Elvin playing in the back. I like Cal still playing on one of the bomb sites and then rotating behind through factory. See if you can keep the pressure on them through mid. I do like how they did that, and that's what I was going to say. Is that I think that keeping this amount of pressure and consistency on the enemy team is going to be so much easier to try and benefit your team as a whole, because we're talking about a situation where things weren't going so well in terms of holding off on mid. That's okay. You can still forfeit and still keep the same pressure that you're looking for off of this, right? Like that's just how that's going to be. And as you can see, Kestrel is playing on the side, noticing no one's coming there, but Cal has the intel that he needs. He's going to try and swing too wide. I don't agree with how he took that fight. He goes down, and that's going to be a 4-on-3 for the conversion of this A side. They're actually rotating off of A and just going B after that kill.
Yeah, and I would too, because even though they're already there, you already got a kill. A is just a much harder bomb to play for, and if you know you have on the numbers advantage, if you have a 4-3 advantage at B, why not just rotate around, play your basic B strats, and just do it what you're known. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you're known as doing, and that's pushing out B. I literally cannot remember a time where Justus's play wasn't just to push out the backside of B from B. So, that's the bread and butter right now. But you can see they're already going to be trying to get control of this as Ink. He was able to get up to this box. And once you get control of that box, you pretty much plant. And that's what his team was that's what this team was able to do. Now it's going to be all about this retake situation. 3v4 Sinmade. Are they going to be able to do it? Ooh, man, this is going to be so close.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Gronky is at least able to get killed here thanks to Elvin. Good flank from him, but we're talking about a 2v2 now. This is an even game as they are waiting to buy time to see if they can find their opportunity, if they can push it. Doesn't seem like they have much utility. The APS is going to stop the nade from coming out. What will they be able to find here? Rolling all the way in, picks, finds a good shot, and manages to get the down. Ink will follow through with his teammate. They get one apiece, which means that this round is over. We are at 4-2 right now. One more round and we'll be in another half. This will be the swap. This determines who leads into the next round here with a very, very substantial look from Justus Roco. I mean, they've been doing great so far. You can't even really complain about that.
Yeah, exactly. You look at the scoreboard, it looks like they are spreading that love. Everybody getting some downs, elims, and assists to their name. Even coming in with the revives, they have 4 compared to 2. So you look at the stats, even though there's a lot of downs on the other side of Koolin, those stats have not mattered as much because guess what? Justus right now, they're looking pretty and ready to go up 5-0 on this offensive half. If Justus can go up 5-0 on offense, that is going to spell disaster for this Koolin team.
Yeah, it seems like right now, things have started off. The briefcase is tossed out to at least give themselves some more utility. Some of the same starts that we've seen so far. The more defensive Claymore to try and watch on the flank. Manages to util back up thanks to the runway briefcase, and I am curious as to how they're going to play this. We do see that Pix is at least pushing out, swinging wider. Obviously, with the sniper, he is going to have a lot of pressure that they have to keep in mind. Trying to check the usual corners, but no one's committing yet. Everyone's just biding their time for right now.
Exactly, just trying to stall it out, make sure they can get as much information as they can. You see the Kestrel in the runway. They're going to be working this long area. Remember, this is the final round, so all these guns are nearing that max capacity. The perks, everyone has the perks they want, the tenacity, whatever they can have, but no tenacity on Kestrel still till this day. She's going to be dropping to a grenade, and woof! Elvin downs Pixie with one as well. That's the one thing about having 3 players on your team without tenacity is that you guys can die to nades and all types of other things, and that's exactly what we're seeing happen here. But it's a 3v situation right now. Ink trying to play this hawking rogue, and guess what? Able to loop around the back, help his team out, and they're going to get an easy 5-2.
I wonder how it even happens in that situation too, because you send out 3 to sort of try and see if you could at least apply the pressure on the flank, like on the sides there, because you know that one of them's getting picked up. They send out 3 and they lose with only 2 there. Like Dallas swings around behind them because he was already on site and sees if he can try and support his team from a different angle, see if they can have a pincer operation. But it wasn't even enough to be able to do that. They instead just sort of make their way onto the objective. They just sort of make their way into a 2v3, and they end up losing out against 2 members on the side of Justus Roco. They are down, but definitely not out. The lead is substantial, 5-2, but we have seen things turn around. I can't imagine that Koolin are just going to let this one slide. You have the Scorch, Kestrel, Dahlia, and Dallas. And then you have the runway once again. They're still feeling it, and for good reason, right? Like I'm completely understand why they would want to lock in the runway again.
Yeah, exactly. And Pixie, he is known for being one of the best snipers in the game for sure. So him playing that runway, he's just going to feel so comfortable with that LR-15 in his hand. And let's see who's going to be taking the bomb for the other squad. It's going to be the Scorch. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. All right. So if you have the Scorch on offense, where are you trying to plant the bomb? That is a good question. I'm sitting here trying to think the question through myself. I don't know which one's the better site for this team on offense to go to in Koolin.
Yeah, it seems like right now things are at least looking up for Justus Roco. But Koolin have a long hill to climb here. As the briefcase gets tossed out, they have the utility. Nobody's there. And I actually like how they checked that too. They pushed out to make sure that they swung at least a couple of the closer corners of the site together to make sure they weren't actually there, to confirm the fact that they were actually rotating, and they do know that. Toss out the barbed wire, you have the APSs, you have plenty of ways to make it here. Having this many APSs as well makes things way easier for you to be able to hold a more aggressive angle here.
Yeah, completely agree. You can see the Molly coming out trying to finish off that player. Oh man, the Trench had him so low. Trench is going to be able to get up barely. He's going to be picking up his trophy, putting that right back into the cut yet again. He knows there's no Kestrel, so anything they throw into that cubby is going to get eaten. Oh, except for that. My goodness, Gronky with a great nade onto Sinmaid, and that's 3 dropping Elvin, KO, and Sinmaid. Now all that's left is going to be the Kestrel. She is going to get taken out as well. Justus Roco looking very, very strong in this losers finals.
6-2 so far. I mean, you can't really complain about that lead. Justus are definitely looking good, and once again, losing a game that close, it really sets people off sometimes, right? Like, I'm not saying that's what happened with Justus, but I'm saying that I can't imagine that you lose in a 7-7 and feel good about it after. You probably feel more motivated than you did before, and now they're definitely turning on all, they're firing on all cylinders, and it's showing, not only in how they're playing, but how they're retaking some of the sites, how comfortable they look with a lot of these gunfights as they're taking anything they're swinging. They're never swinging alone. I mean, you got a friend of me, evidently. Like they've got plenty of teams, and they've got plenty of teamwork under their belt, and that's just how it's looking right now. They're looking great.
Exactly, and now it's going to be an A push coming out. I think they got to try and go as fast as possible, if you ask me. Molly going to be coming out. Oh, that's an EMP. I like that. Going to be able to plant this one. The C4 came out, but I believe this player already has tenacity, which would be honestly insane if they did. But I believe that's the reason that they lived through that initial C4 play. So now Justus, they have to retake yet again.
See, right now, they are at least trying to force things through. They do at least manage to get Gronky. Delena goes down, but picks, evens the odds here almost. 2 of them are down, but not out. They can get the reses, and that's what they're going to try and go for. No Kestrel drones, so they can't keep the pressure on. They will at least pick one up, so that makes things a 3v2 right now. Thanks to Ink covering properly, he is going to be able to get it. Nade gets tossed out and downs another one. Who else will we be able to find here? Dallas is behind, but I don't know if there's any other opportunity. He is going to be able to find one. Ink.
The Dallas Molly the bomb, which made him get off it, and now he's able to win. Oh my god, Sinmaid is going to actually win this round. Oh my goodness, that was a 1v3 clutch. A 1v3 clutch from Sinmaid. He hit the flank. That was a beautiful play. Oh my goodness. Man, Sinmaid knows I'd be proud of him for that one. Throw in the last second Molly to get them off that bomb for those 8 seconds. Just all you have to do is just defend that alley. He was able to down one, and then those two players realized, oh man, we got a situation. One of us has to hop it. The other one's got to fight. And guess what? Only one of them had the option of trying to win this one. Oh my goodness.
What a shot,
so disgusting. What a shot. And then
what a great play from behind.
Yeah, overall, like, my goodness, 1v3 clutch from Sinmaid, making 2 players push him. Like, oh my goodness, that's got to be in the top 10 for this month for sure.
Yeah, like that is, I mean, man, like, that's crazy. A 1v3 scenario that turns on its head because one teammate is able to at least get behind them. That is crazy. I genuinely thought that things would have looked so much better if it weren't for that situation. Great Molly and good usage of his time, really. I mean, I guess so many of them were so worried about it. They knew one was behind, but they didn't, I don't think they felt as much pressure as they should have, and Sin made him pay for it.
Yeah, that's how it works, man. It can be extremely quick. Now it's going to be a middle hit out of them. But I mean, hey, listen, you're already down a man. You gotta do something a little bit wild. Oh, but Ink is already on the flank. Oh, KO, he was barely able to see him. I'm not sure he actually saw him, though. And Ink is literally... Oh, man. Now Ink is in a world of hurt. He's in trouble. He's going to be mollying off this right side. But he is not going to be long for this world as he gets taken out on that flank. Now it's going to be a 3v3 situation. That's a big down coming out of Gronky onto KO. Nice shot, snipe coming out of Pixie. That player's going to be low for quite some time. Now they know he's already low. They just got to go. Get him out of here, and they're going to do just that. Justus getting their 7th round on the board. My goodness.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, really. like that's the problem there, is the fact that you can't really take longer fights, not just against picks, but against any sniper, right? You're going to lose the trade for the most part. And even on the off chance that not the off chance, but even if in the case that they do actually hit the headshot, that's an immediate down. You can't really take a lot of those longer angles fights because once again, you're getting hit for 70. Pix got brought down to 44 because he also had that extra armor in his back pocket. Like, there's just a lot of this that you have to be concerned about, right? And I don't think that was the play. Pix having such a wide open area to watch over is definitely the way to do it. And I think they played that extremely well. They tried to catch him out of the rotation. I like how Koolin was trying to adapt to that scenario, but I just don't think it was enough in that case.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. And now we're on with Sinmade. Elvin already took out Ink, though. Are they going to get the full kill? They are, which means that Molly's going to be coming out, and they're going to be able to get the plant down in the open. Wow, 3v4 retake now coming in for Justus. This is going to be so difficult. If Koolin loses this one, there's no excuses to lose this round right now.
Yeah. Like, they have managed to at least get the bomb down. They've gotten a kill on one as well. Still trying to lock things on. Cooking up the nade. Know that Cow is over there. Tosses it out. Same thing for the Simtex. They do flush him out, but they are at least he is at least going to be able to escape. The smoke is going to force things, and at least force their hand, I should say, in this scenario. Toss out the nade once again. Misses it. Hits the wall. It's not going to be able to find it. The barbed wire is tearing them apart. Somebody has to get on top of the bomb now. Playing by the staircase and playing below. They do take care of Haitian. They will at least be able to get picks, and Scorch tries to make it out. Did she cross over? She did. She actually made it through, and there's only one of them left. Delena's the last one. Thanks to Cow. He comes around and manages to get the kill. That's going to be 4-7. Koolin. Man, oh man. What a round for them.
Yeah, I said no excuses to lose it, and they were able to pull it out and very nicely, honestly. Kaon's right now on this Scorch. He's putting in work, being able to plant that bomb, get back, help his teammates out. And you know, they're playing it pretty smart. They just got to keep on stringing these rounds together. We've seen so many late round blunders come out of this Koolin squad. Man, if they could have shored up some of those rounds, this might be a 6-5 advantage for them. But currently, 7-4 in favor of Justus. Right now, Koolin, they've got to dig deep and find something.
Yeah, I mean, like, once again, like, they looked great that last round. Let's see how they fare in this situation. Okay, I was trying to figure out what Scorch was doing, but then I just realized that they were just waiting to see if anybody pushes the flank. Scorch is just playing back to gain intel and find out what's about to happen, right? It seems like nobody comes in through mid, though, and they do know that Ink is there, so they are at least trying to pre-fire it. They aren't going to be able to find the damage at all, but they are at least going to be able to use the EMP to see if they can at least force him back and away from his spot for right now.
Yeah, totally. You can see right now, Sinmade, he knows that these players are back here. You don't want to challenge Pixie with that sniper if you don't have one on your side. You see Pixie healing up that armor right now. He does see a player, and this is the thing. If you can land one of these headshots, it can change the round completely. Even the body shots will do so much damage. You got to heal up yet again. He does have that headstrong, not opting to use it, though, as he is going for straight snipes. Now they're going to be util dumping this side. 2 players already dropping for the side of Koolin. Justus.
Oh, no way.
No, they just traded out 2 kills at the same time. That's so unfortunate. You can see Koolin, they're feeling a little bit more confident, but they were able to get that revive, which is going to be a massive advantage for Justus. They know how to get those, and there's a trade coming out. Now it's only going to be 1 player alive, and they're getting the revive on him. It's all going to be up to Kaons, and he is going to get taken out. Justus Roco going to be winning the first map of the losers finals 8-4.
I think best case scenario, like considering the fact that they were actually able to get the downs there, you would probably need to look for like you would probably have to go for the push after you get another down, right? Because Runway got res twice in that scenario. You have to catch them lacking. Like you don't really have much of another choice. I understand that things were already pretty tense because it didn't seem like it was going too well at first, right? Like things like we already lost two. There's four of them still alive. They get two trades and even up the match. Okay, one of them still down. They're gonna go for the res. The second time they got that down, they should have just pushed, right? Because it's either all or nothing at this point. You don't want to give them that opportunity to make this a 3-on-2, and because of that, it became that much more dangerous. I think that Koolin played that still extremely well, though, for someone that was that for a team that was down as much as they were. They still felt like the plays it was that they were making, there was something there. And you really had to give them credit where credit was due. And I think that that's so important, like as a whole. Like you really, really have to be cautious about how you approach and keep that pressure onto people. It just makes things so dangerous, right? And I think that that's what Koolin was doing best, was making sure that they had the plays to follow through on what their mindset was. Like, I think that they did a great job. It just made it that much more harder for them to try and see if they could take it back on some of those split and small decisions they had to make.
Oh, no, you're completely correct. And now the great thing about this series is that we're going to be switching it up a little bit, heading over to King of the Hill next. It's going to be very, very fun for sure. We got a King of the Hill Palace, if I do remember correctly from the graphic earlier. So going into Palace on this one, this Koolin squad, they've got to find something right now because listen, Palace King of the Hill, it is all about those gunfights. We know what Ink, Delina, Gronky, Pixie, what they're able to do with their gun skill. But if you're the side of Elvin, KO, Sinmade, you've got to dig deep. Be ready to win all your gunfights because you're going to need to on a map like this.
Yeah, this is definitely the time to do it, honestly. Like, you don't want to go down 2-0 in a situation that might, freak you out, or like in a situation that might be a little bit too close for comfort. The bans here, Scorch and Lancer. We see Scorch here. We see Lancer get banned out. And once again, Lancer, especially on King of the Hill on Palace, I think is like probably like one of her better maps. We've seen her be picked a lot on King of the Hill, especially on a map like Palace. There's a lot of places that you have to look out for her, and I completely understand taking her out of the game for now. But we do see them running the Mac here. Once again, Lancer, Scorch, both of those characters are now out of this current map. In this current game, they have found their way to the ban column. No Vi, though, is going to find her way there. Instead, she's going to find it as a part of the drafts of both teams, just as Roco and Koolin find some sort of comfort in being able to pick Vi. And of course, that makes sense. And we are talking about Vi here, especially on the respawn game modes. It really plays a huge role into that. So I think that's honestly great. Like, what a great opportunity for them to,
and looking at the side of Koolin, I was going to say, looking at the side of Koolin, I don't think they have a Lancer on their team. I was thinking about it. Galaxy doesn't play it. Sinmade, Kaons, neither one of them plays it, especially Elvin. So they don't have a Lancer player. I think that's the main reason they banned Vi. I know that Elvin, he likes playing Vi. I know that Gronky is okay with playing it, but they still choose to ban out the Scorch Vi meta almost every single series. But listen, hey, if Justus got asked to ban first and they chose Scorch, you don't have to choose Vi. Why don't we just play it, ban something we know they're going to run and we won't, like the Lancer, and hope that it works out in our favor. I like the switch up coming in from Koolin.
Yeah, right now, things have landed. There is a lot of pressure on A, obviously. The first point here in King of the Hill, Nanosmokes gets used. The utility, everything comes through right now. Koolin are at least trying to keep the pressure on. They do take care of Haitian already. He does go down, tossing out what they can, as only 5 points have been garnered in total in this game. Now we've moved up to 7. Very little point percentage gain. With all that utility on the objective, it's honestly hard to try and sit and stand on that point. But Gronky, perfect shots are going to find their way into Sin. Same thing for Cal. That's 2 down, and now you can finally say that Justus have control over this objective.
Yeah, exactly. In this first hill, this remaining scrap time is going to be major. It's going to put them at about 30 points, but they're up to not get it. They're just saying, forget those 15 seconds of scrap time. We're going to head over to next, and I'm not sure that's a good idea. Those 15 seconds could have really helped you, in all honesty, get even closer to that 150 mark. But hey, listen, Ink gets taken out by Galaxy Haitian. Delina gets taken out by Galaxy Haitian. And Galaxy Haitian right now feeling good as he's able to pick up a nice 2-piece. against those players, and they're holding this hill very good. Gronky, he is just waiting for his team as he's going to be throwing a molly to help them out zone a little bit. You see the Vi Poison's going to be coming in on both sides of the door, and this is one of the main reasons that she is banned so often, is that the zoning ability from the Vi is just so amazing.
Yeah, seems like right now Koolin are doing great with making sure they have this point lead, but Elvin is the next one that falls here. So far, Justus Roco have been doing their best to see if they can hold on to what they can, as they are at least able to stay on the objective, but the point lead is still in favor of Koolin. Flashbang goes out, manages to take care of Cal. Sin is brought down to at least half of his current HP. We will have to take him some time to regen as well. He at least is going to turn things around, get rid of picks, and Haitian is going to fall once again. The fight over B has so many kills coming through. At the end of the day, Justus Roco do control it, but here it is. I mentioned this before. This double doors point, this C point, is one of the most important ones on King of the Hill for this map. It's so prominent. It's so hard to force people off of this site once they have control over it.
You're completely correct about that, and you know, this C1, like you said, the contesting that comes in from both these teams, it almost just feels like a stalemate a lot of the times, you know, just because, especially when there's a Mac on one side having trophies, like it's just so hard to break these hills. You see Kaons is already setting up for last. He's just going to be playing this rotator on this roof, trying to get some picks. That's just not worth it as a kill. Going for that kill isn't going to help you at all. You need to get the spawns for the next hill. So him being over there, that was an amazing play. But at the end of the day, that's not all you need to do. You have to get control of this area, or else Ink is going to be able to do that as he is right now. And he's going to be forcing those spawns for your whole team to be spawning incredibly far out. That's just so unfortunate coming in the side of Koolin. But now Ink and company on the side of Justus, they're most likely going to have control of this final D hill at the start.
It seems like the hill unlocks in about 10 seconds right now, as things are looking a little bit more dire. Ink is going to be the only one on his team that finds his kill. Now he will find his second. Elvin, Cal, both of them go down here. Runway, no HP, and still finds the trade on one another. 58 to 37, has to find some kills on the way in. Haitian is at least going to be able to take care of that one. Delana goes down as well, but not before he takes care of Elvin. This point is in control of Koolin, but I would still be cautious, because this is nowhere near done yet, and we still got 50 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, exactly. You see right now, they're going to be able to tie this one up. And this is what I'm saying. Look at the scores. Like, we're on the final hill. It's only 58 to 58. That just shows how much these hills can really be contested. That is just absolutely incredible, with barely over one hill combined. Honestly, that's like 1.5 hills the entire time that's already been collected by both teams. So that's just a rough situation, because that means this D hill is just that much more important to hold. You see Ink gets the trade. Trades are not friendly, especially if they're going to be coming in from different angles right now. That's right now, Galaxy Haitian, this is going to be a major play. This is really going to decide the round right here, and then he's going to take the loss. And that's most likely going to decide it. It's crazy how one gunfight in certain situations can really be the deciding factor if you're even going to have a chance to get to the hill or not. And that was it right there. So Justus going up 1-0. Looking very nice.
Yeah, I mean, like, once again, a lot of these fights, the second hill, B hill, was definitely the most contested one, I would have to say, next to C hill, because of the fact that so many different kills were coming up on the board here. I mean, you see all the utility that's spread out on this hill. You see all of the presence around that hill that's going to be focused on. I mean, it's a lot, and them contesting C for as long as possible was definitely the best case scenario for them. I mean, like, that's just crazy. Like, it was really, really difficult to try and deal with that, I would say.
Yeah, completely agree right now. You see the A push going to be coming out, as they're going to be going toward that site, but it's going to be Ink. He's the man in the middle right now, just locking it down. Doesn't want anyone to hit that fast flank. This Galaxy Haitian is looking to do, but he's going to take him out. Simple and clean as that. So finally, we're going to get a team with some hill time. It's going to be Justus, Roco, and they're going to be dropping like flies immediately after touching the hill. They paid the price for sure. And now we got ourselves a 1v1 situation over here for this A hill right now. And, you know, I'm liking how both teams are starting, you know, contesting. Also, both teams playing the middle. Both teams are playing very similar right now. Ink is really holding these spawns on the far left for next. My goodness, I think it can't be stated enough how important rotating early for spawns can truly be.
It seems like right now, for the most part, it is going decently in favor of Koolin. Not much time left on the objective, because B-side is the next one to follow through. They do have the flash, so they do have to be a little bit more cautious about how they handle this right now. As they try around the corner, at least to try and see if they can stop Ink. They find some shots, but they won't find anything that's going to stick quite yet. Delena is going to be the first down here for this next incoming fight for mid.
And right now you can see both teams are just jockeying for position. Right now Kaons is able to get a big pick onto Gronky. He's going for Pixie as well, trying to figure out exactly the best angle to take on him. You can see he's going left, right, center, making sure this player doesn't stand a chance. 4 HP remaining, and he's going to be able to win that one, but he gets taken out by a Kestrel in return. This Galaxy's coming in hot and ready.
It seems like for right now, these things are becoming a little bit more dangerous for Koolin, because as we head off to C-site, if they contest it for as long as they possibly could, just like how we saw with last round, it's going to be hard. There's not going to be much afforded to Koolin, and the main fight is going to happen on the very last objective. C is, once again, as I mentioned before, the hardest to try and overtake, and they have, and no one's able to contest them quite on it just yet.
Oh yeah, precisely, and you see a 16-point game right now. Ink doing what he can, and he's going to be able to take out Sinmade. My goodness, what a great play right there from him, as they are all trying to lock up this middle hill that we know is really just a test to see who can control for the few seconds that they are able to get control the longest. You see the flank coming out of the backside for this squad, and I kind of like it. I kind of like the flank getting up to the back, but man, when you got a player like Delena watching over from a mile away on a roof, like that is just so difficult to deal with. Light Bomb gonna be coming out, gonna be flashing a couple of players. He's gonna be pushing onto this one. His teammate's gonna be able to help him take him out. This is some good time right here for the side of Justus.
It's already looking pretty good. I mean, you can't really complain. 95 to 39 so far. Koolin, they've got to literally dedicate everything it is they have to this very last objective. That has to be the best case scenario for Justus Roco, and it is. They have such a substantial lead on one of the hardest points it is that you have to contest, and now they're on the very, very last objective. They have to look and put their all into this one.
Exactly my thoughts. Ink right now using that stalker, gonna be getting around, and he's gonna be taking out Elvin. Man, oh man, Delena already down Galaxy, so it's gonna be 2 players left on this B hill, or on this D hill, excuse me. You can see Ink already able to take out another one. Beautiful snap coming in. Oh man, that was so close. He was able to 2-tap him, not able to get the 3. And right now Ink is chilling. They are feeling good, because guess what? Right now, 3 seconds remaining to hold it, and this is all she wrote. So there we go. And just like that, Justus Roco gonna be going up 2-0 map count, as that King of the Hill looked very, very clean.
Yes, it absolutely did, Rome. And I am honestly floored with how they've been playing this. I mean, like, once again, Justus Roco doing the dang thing. Like, we've seen them really pop off beforehand, and it's looking very much the same this round as well. It has just been overall a very, very strong sort of set throughout today. I mean, Koolin, once again, surprising and shocking everyone by making it to the Final Four that we had seen, you know, coming from yesterday into today. But Koolin, they've got to try their best, man. I mean, like, I'm not saying they aren't already, but they really have to, like, they have to reach some untapped potential, because right now we're talking about a 2-0 against Justus Roco, and of course it's not easy. Of course there's not going to be any problem whatsoever, right? Like, with them trying the best it is that they can do. But they have to find some sort of flaw in the strategy of what Justus is doing, because right now it just seems like that Justus has all the momentum, and they're not affording any space to it. Every time this game that I was watching this on Palace, it was always back and forth. We get one kill, there's another trade. Like we get another kill, there's going to be another trade that we already have. Like this fight on B really stood out the most to me because of the fact that it was so contested. Like it was really back and forth.
Oh yeah, big time. And you guys can see the bans coming up on your screen. We got Ronin and we got Glitch. It's going to be a good one. It's pretty basic, pretty basic bans coming out of both sides that we're going to be having here. But, on a map like Breach, it is going to get very, very interesting for sure. There's a lot of different strategies for this map that we have seen already come out. So I'm excited to see what new strategies potentially we'll see from both of these teams.
Yeah, I agree as well. I mean, Ronin, Glitch, both of them being banned out here, especially on a map like Breach, that is pretty much what you would expect, right? I mean, we saw the value that Ronin got out of the last set it was that we watched when we were looking at Right Turtle versus Justus Roco. Ronin had a lot of value there. Dahlia being able to link to her as well means that she was also invisible. Not going to let that be the case here. Obviously, getting rid of the Glitch and the Ronin not only allows them to have proper intel characters, but it doesn't let them stall out the push as much as they would like to, since Ronin and Glitch are both banned here. I am interested to see the picks here. I can imagine they'll probably run free with the Dallas, if anything. It seems like the Trench is going to be picked up here. Trench, Seeker, and Dahlia are being hovered right now. Trench is the only one of the three that has been locked in so far, so that could be subject to change for the rest of the draft.
Yeah, exactly. You can see right now, Dallas is going to be finally locked in by SinMade. So they're going to go with a double intel composition. And this is going to be interesting. With Ronin banned, we're going to see a much different gameplay than the previous time that we saw Breach Demolition with Ronin being played a lot, pretty much on both sides. So it's definitely going to be a change. These Dallases are going to have a lot more priority. Even the Seeker, he's going to have some good priority on defense with those sensor darts, being able to watch the flanks and other things. And then you got Pixie on the runway. He's going to be able to toss that briefcase, give his team 2 mollies, 2 smokes, whatever they plan on using. And I think overall, I gotta say this Justice squad, I'm liking their composition for this side.
Yes, I'm also saying the same thing. I definitely think that it is a great opportunity to not only lock this in, but I wonder why Koolin hasn't felt the need to try and match the runway. The utility has really played a heavy role throughout these last 2 games, and it's still playing an even bigger role coming into Demolition. I feel like they might just find more stock in getting rid of the Ronin, which makes sense to me, right? Because like once again, we're talking about a situation where a character as commonly as Dallas is now rendered useless almost, right? Because he can't find anyone that might be closest to him. He wouldn't be able to find out anybody that's on the flank or where Ronin might end up being played. But with that being the case, we are still talking about a scenario where I feel like if you can't like beat them in certain aspects, you got to join them. Like Runway is definitely one of those characters where I feel like that statement applies pretty heavily.
Hey, listen, man, it makes sense to me. But right now, this squad and Justus, they're pushing out. They've already got the Dahlia down, able to get the Trench as well. He's not going to be getting up with how that works. You can't revive people from the grave as Dahlia. That would be a very interesting update for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and see if they're going to be able to do this 3v retake right now. Because that nade is going to be able to find Gronky. Now, SinMade, he's going to be shooting this revolver, trying to make sure that nobody's going to be able to peek him. Ink still does have a reveal. He's going to be throwing out that molly, forcing them to this left side, but that might not have been the right choice as he didn't have help on the left side. I would have thrown my molly on the left side where you have help from your teammates, and it doesn't really matter because guess what? SinMade, they're going to be taking out this squad swiftly. And honestly, I'm kind of shocked that Ink threw the molly at the right side. His whole team was watching his right side. So, you got to throw it at the left to make sure that, make sure that you're going to have some help from behind you when they start to push. And he essentially mollied off his help. He essentially said, you guys won't go to this side, go to the one side and 1v3 me. And that's what happened. And it ended up coming back to bite them a little bit. So Koolin getting their first big round, in my opinion, just due to a small mistake.
Yeah, once again, but we've seen these small mistakes sort of stack up throughout today and really start to determine how the rest of the game, how the rest of the set actually ends up going. It's something it is that I have seen throughout today, and hopefully it doesn't become a trend, right? These small mistakes leading to even bigger mishaps, right? And I think that even though that won't be the case here, I think it's still something that you might have to keep in mind, at least in the back of your head.
Oh, 100%. Definitely has got to be in the back of your mind every single time. You see the defensive seeker. That bow's going to be coming out, at least revealing a couple. I believe he did reveal Gronky. So let's go ahead and see how they're going to be defending up against this push from Justus as they're setting up nicely. They already gave the runway briefcase away. So they're feeling very, very good right now. This Pixie, you can see he's lurking. He's just waiting for someone to peek their head so he can go for it. He's got the sniper in hand. Here we go. Just like that, he's going to be able to get one. Simtek's going to be coming out, and he's going to full kill it. But that's going to be a nice bounce nade coming into Pixie. That's 3 players of Justus dropping simultaneously. And anytime that happens, the final player is going to be wondering, team, what just happened?
This was the map that they ended up going 7-7 on. I'm not too sure if it might be the map. Maybe they are not as well versed in this map or the situation, perhaps, because once again, Koolin are really popping off here. He pushed all the way through that and almost got punished for it. He got so many people, manages to kill Galaxy Haitian, and manages to pop Cow as he drops out of the window. There's still one more remaining. Elvin is the last one standing right now, knows where he is, playing around the corner as best he can, trying to use the movement, seeing if he can make himself a little bit more unpredictable. He has the bomb now, doesn't end up finding the shots that he needs, finds 2, but not the last one that would have otherwise won the round. Koolin do manage to take this one again.
Yeah, big 2-0 coming out for them. You got to find a way to stop it if you're the side of Justus. Yeah, if you're the side of Justus, you got to be able to stop this onslaught that Koolin is bringing. You can see Ink with the pistol play. Such a nice shot coming out of him on that one. Snapping, he's going to be able to molly. It was just an all-around beautiful play coming out of Ink right there. Double mollies from the runway. That's the only time you're ever going to be able to see a player throw back-to-back mollies, and so it's just majorly advantageous to have those in your back pocket. That's the reason runway is just such a powerful pick right now. Having those 2 mollies on a Dallas can just be absolutely terrifying to play against.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like we saw it in full effect right there. As they do head back to A site, Picks obviously taking a more aggressive angle here. It seems like they are at least trying to wait on things a little bit longer. They're rotating over, seeing if they can at least keep the pressure onto the A side as best as they can. Will break the motion sensor, and Pix is still in a good spot. Utils coming out, but no bomb planted yet.
Exactly. It's going to be all about the patient game. You see Elvin, he's waiting in the back, trying to cook a nade at the perfect time to be able to down one of these players. And is this going to be a rotation coming out of this squad? They do have the bomb on Pixie's back. I don't think he wants to break that cardboard just yet. Oh, but he's going to break it. He's busting through the doors. He's going to go ahead and try to plant it. And he's going to start, and here we go. Molly coming out. He's able to get it off, though. Barely going to be moving away from that Molly. Player in the corner. He's going to be not taken out by the Simtex. But guess what? That player was linked to Dahlia. Major moves coming in from Pixie. Is he going to be able to get out? Barely. All right, now it's going to be all about helping out your team. Dallas has already fallen. That's your Molly character. What are you going to do now, Justus?
Yeah, see how we have to play this one. It'll become a little bit more dangerous. At least they're able to get one of them. Sin does go down, but he's not killed yet. The Mama putting in the work, finding damage onto Pix, but swings around at the perfect time. Gronky is going to find one. They finish off Sin. Now it is a 2v3 as Kyle is the next one that follows suit. And then, of course, they will be able to find the last one. There's power in numbers, and they just proved that. Score is now 1-2.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Justus able to get their first round on the board on Breach. And that was a major one for them, for sure. I'm sure they're definitely going to be happy about that. And they're going to be able to build up and use momentum from that round, not only in their economy, but also in their heads. Because guess what? This Koolin squad, I can't lie, they've upset a few teams already in this tournament. And just as they know that this team could put them on upset watch, so they want to end this one here. They're already up 2-0. They don't want to go to a 4th map just in case. So I'm sure this team is definitely going to be trying their hardest the rest of this map.
Yeah, still trying to see if they can find their way in. As Sin does find huge damage in mid. Is not going to be able to take much advantage of that after the fact, but will manage to escape here. Kestrel is still alive. Still looking good while doing it. Not going to be overextending or taking any advantage when they can.
Completely correct. Ooh, beautiful nade coming out of Elvin.
Yeah.
Able to down. Oh my goodness, and he put down
wow.
Pixie. who was reviving Gronky, was able to get a 2-for-1 right there. You see Ink and Delina in the back. They're going to be running away for their lives. This Ink, he might be a little bit stuck, and yeah, he got stuck next to the palm tree. Unfortunate. Now it's all up to this Dahlia in a 1v4 situation. She is going to go ahead and fight this one out. She knows she's not going to be long, and just like that, 3-1 now. Solid round out of Koolin yet again.
Yeah, so far it's been looking really good for Koolin. I mean, 3-1. What a substantial lead over Justus so far. They are looking amazing while doing this, man. I mean, like, they're each passing moment just seems to be more and more space and points given to the boys in red. I mean, like, I don't quite know what exactly it is that Justus are not quite doing to the best of their ability. I mean, like, they are pushing in. Obviously, they are taking over site. We have seen a couple times where they've been able to get the bomb down. And once again, there's power in numbers, and they've done well, obviously, with the veterans that are on Justus Roco's side. They have been pushing in. They have been at least keeping the pressure on them. So I wouldn't really think too much about it. It just seems like A has been the problem. They might take a page out of Right Turtle's book, how it went last time. Maybe A's too hard. We just go B.
Maybe that might be the case, and they're able to get the bomb down as well. That is major. Now that's going to be playing this retake on this B site for the first time. Nade going to be dropping. Dahlia Rez going to be coming through from Elvin. But that player did not get up as he got full killed. Unfortunate. Dahlia is going to be able to revive the Dallas. So many trophies are being utilized. There's the smoke. That's exactly what you need to get some kind of advantage. But my, that is going to be a strong molly. Going to be pushing all these players back. Justus going to be picking up another round win off of this B bomb site.
Yeah, that's just how it is, really. I mean, like, this is the same thing that happened to Justus last time when they were fighting against Right Turtle. It was the same sort of situation. Right Turtle was struggling to try and see if they could find their lead. Something fell off. Things weren't looking too good for them. And then they were able to make it onto B site, and they went, hey, B site seems to be working for us all the time. And in this case, they have a runway. The last time they didn't have a runway in their previous set. They have a runway this time. They have plenty of utility to actually utilize here. And because that is the case, they might try and look for another B site, but they won't actually. They'll go straight back to A.
Yeah, and, you know, sometimes you just got to switch it up. It's a mind game. You know, you're sitting here thinking, all right, they're going to think that we're going to go back to B just because it works, so we'll hit them with an A instead. You know, it could be that. I know players do that a lot. You know, you got to be always ahead of the game. As always, two players already getting full killed, one on each side. That's going to be another one dropping. That's Ink. Man, so Pixie is able to get the bomb down. It's going to be a 3v2 retake in favor of Koolin now. Let's see exactly how they're going to be using the Seeker as he doesn't have his bow up. You can't be taking fights by yourself. But Delina, he's going to be winning another one against KO. And they're going to be getting all these revives as Delina ended up getting punched, taken out. So did Pixie. Unfortunate for them. Right now, Koolin looking very, very strong, up 4-2 on this defensive side.
Yeah, I don't think that A is the play. Like, I think that just seems to be what the situation is right now. A does not seem like a play to me. It just doesn't, because it seems like they're always struggling to make it onto site, and even if they do, holding it seems to be an entirely other obstacle that they have to get through. So it's definitely something that I would keep in mind on the side of Justus Roco. I would not overly commit to something if I don't have to, right? Like, if I can't get the bomb down, I'm not going to go for it. I would just say, might as well put your baskets on B, right? Like, that's just what I would say.
Yeah, definitely not mad at that for sure. And it might end up paying off as there's only one player down the middle. He's going to get bowed, though. Oh, and he hit him for 80. Oh, wow. Man. Yeah, that could smell trouble if someone had a molly, but no. No molly going to be coming out for the squad, but a couple of smokes coming out for the offense. They're going to be moving up to this B site, getting it down as well. That's going to be the runway. Oh, my goodness, barely skating out of dodge right there and planted it in the open for her team. And that's even more important. They do know that Delina is watching the flank from the middle, so that's such a tough situation to know you have to go forward and you have to watch your back.
Seems like right now this is going to be a bit more of a problem. Yeah, spraying the bomb through the smoke just to make sure that they don't find anyone that might be trying to utilize that smoke to diffuse. Right now, so they're getting forced out. What an instant to stop Elvin and Cal. They are going to find Sin with one person remaining on the side of Koolin. Has to find his way out, but instead he finds his way to the afterlife. 3 to 4 so far on the side of Justus Roco. Yeah, just stick to B. Like, that just seems to be the plan here. We are swapping, but I mean, B seems to be the easiest time that people have of taking over a site.
Yeah, completely agree when it comes to that. And now we get to see how they're going to be acting on the other side. It looks like there is going to be a Scorch coming out locked in by Galaxy. That's a very interesting option. There is going to be a runway on the side of Justice yet again. They love that double, the double utility coming out that the briefcase does give you. And, I like the trench pick as well. I think it's a solid comp overall on defense for this team in Justus. You look at the other side, the offense. I like the Scorch. The Scorch is going to be able to let you plant the bomb. She has tenacity. The only player aside from Dahlia with it currently being picked. So, being able to get that bomb down at B or at A in the middle of a molly, it could be major advantages for this offensive team. They just have to be able to figure out exactly how to play around the Scorch.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you as well. Having the Scorch on your side as well means that those duels, those one-on-one fights that she's going to take, she's more than likely going to win them, right? And that is just the power of Scorch and what she brings to any composition it is that she is on. Those duels, those one-on-ones, are going to look better as time goes on. 3 to 4 so far. Still looking decent. Justus Roco managed to find their stride at the end of the half and don't go down 5-2. Instead, they lead themselves with a 1-point lead. Has to find some sort of way out, and they do. He barely manages to escape that one. That was dangerous, playing in the way that he did.
Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. And they are going to be able to get that bomb down, like I said. So here we go. No molly left for the Scorch. It's going to be straight up ultimate gunny coming out. Ooh, man, this one is going to be tense. As you can see Justus right now, they're trying to figure out exactly how they want to retake it. You can already see the barbed wire coming out, as well as the trophies. But Delina, he's getting weak already. Somebody's got to get there and hop on the bomb, but there is also Ink, who is behind them at the hop over wall, just waiting for his opportunity. There he goes. Now he's going to be coming up. Ink's going to be able to get one down. They get 2 players down. No Dahlia Res going to be coming through. All that's left is the Dallas. They got to find him and take him out, and they're going to do just that and hop on the bomb with plenty of time to spare.
Overall, well played. And I definitely like the fact that Ink was waiting for his moment, just waiting for a proper opportunity to strike. He did actually manage to come around just in the nick of time, helped out his teammates, and I mean, once again, like, great play and good awareness from their team to be able to actually do that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now things are tied up. You got to figure out how you're going to be coming into this one. Do you think that Koolin is a little bit down on themselves right now because they let it get to this score? Or do you think that they're saying, hey, listen, we're tied up, we're hanging in there just fine?
Based off of how the rest of the games have gone, I would imagine that they're saying the latter, right? I'm imagining that they're saying that we're fine, we're doing great. I definitely think that we should do XYZ, obviously, with them like communicating, like on their team, adapting how they should as the competitive game goes on. But once again, like, I feel like they're feeling the latter, right? Like, they're feeling more comfortable having tied things up based off of how the last 2 games went. I mean, that's, like, the lead was much wider, much broader. And so they're not trying to let that happen again. And it's clearly showing. They want to play more aggressive. They want to force people back and see how they can play. Right now, the score's tied 4 to 4, and they have the bomb down once again.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing a great job of that. See, one already going to be dropping. Ooh, that's a nice nade coming out onto Pixie, but it's not going to be able to full kill him. This is a strong round out of Koolin. But they got to be able to win these trades right here. This next one's going to be massive. See the Kestrel coming out, and now they're going to be moving on up. They're going to be deleting those players. My goodness, 5 to 4 in favor of Koolin.
Once again, I was saying that beforehand. They were saying the latter statement it was that you had made about how they're feeling pretty confident. And that type of play is extremely confident. That's what you want to see. You want to see people have that sort of pressure, apply that sort of same mindset to these games as they go on from round to round. This is just the perspective it is that you need to have, and Koolin clearly have that perspective of being able to know that even though we're tied up with one of the best dang teams in the league, and we're doing fine. Now we have the lead. We have to keep doing what it is that we're doing, which is staying vigilant. Make sure you have a strong mental, a strong mindset. You're trying to take this to the grand finals.
Exactly, and this would be any of these players' first time making it there, so they're trying to make a big statement not only for themselves but showing the rest of the community, listen, we can hang with the top dogs in the game, and I like it from this Koolin squad. And they're also able to get the big first blood onto Delena. He got full kill, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a 3v4 with no trench on the side of the defense.
Seems like right now these things are already going to be pretty dangerous. Haitian manages to find Pix, still using the Ensign to see what he can get. As the Ensign does manage to pick off Ink, Pix is the next one, and they're just going to move into the last. They are going to find a sweep here, 6-4 on the side of Koolin. What a great plays. I mean, like, I'm truly impressed. Like, we love to see this team start from the bottom. Now we're here and great in losers bracket finals. Like, that's about as good of a perspective as you could have. And I think that's wonderful, really. Like, they're doing great. They're playing. They're not overextending. They are letting them play into them, right? Like, Koolin is letting Justus Roco play into them on the defense side. You have people that are on defense that like to play aggressive, still thinking that they're on offense, right? There's still people that try and outpace. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense, right? But this time, they're just letting them play into their hands. They're going, okay, if they get on the side, they plant the bomb, all we can do, once we plant the bomb, we could easily play retake. We have our utility. We have our ways to sort of play this well enough. And it's exactly why they aren't just rushing the side here.
Yeah, you can see they're trying to get an angle on him from the back. Is Pixie? I don't think that's going to be able to work, as they're going to get out yet again with the bomb down. So Justus, tall task ahead of themselves. They got to redo this yet again, retake one last time. They're able to down KO and full kill him. That is major. Ink is just waiting for his time to hop over. He's going to be throwing a molly to get one player off originally. Nade going to be coming out. That's going to not do any damage to anyone but your team. Someone is on the bomb, though. That's a scary situation because you got to be able to get them off, but you don't want to reach out and put yourself in a bad position. That's exactly what they did right there. Only one player is going to be remaining. Ink right now just waiting on the go-ahead to hop the bomb, and there they give it to him. So He's going to be good. Another 5 to 6 round, excuse me, for the side of Koolin, but at least Justus was able to get a round win there.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Justus Roco, 5-6. Things are not tied up yet, as things are looking very, very good for Koolin right now. Still having the lead and everything. In terms of the score lines, only 5 downs on the side of Pix, but 20 assists. Hey, that's the power of that briefcase. Honestly, like, I feel like most of that is due to that briefcase. A lot of it is just Pix taking the proper fights as well. He's landing plenty of his shots, and having that good opening damage from that sniper, whether it's a headshot or not, is going to be enough for the rest of his team to try and push in, utilize a down or a heavily damaged opponent to their advantage.
Yeah, 100%. You see, this is going to be a slow, methodical push over at A, but they do have this guy in Kaons who is going to be playing the sneaky beaver role right now. And he is going to be snapping, seeing that one player inside. Now, is Pixie going to realize this? No, he's not. And Pixie is going to get taken out immediately. Gronky trying to do what he can to cover for his teammate. Oh, man, if Gronky wins this one, he can't be losing these fights right here. This one matters so much, but Gronky's just going to opt to run away, which, you know, isn't really the worst idea ever. But Elvin is going to be able to take out Delena, and now it's all up to Gronky. They already know where he's at. It's all about hunting him down. There they go, taking him out. 5-7. Yeah. Koolin 1 round away from, you know, taking a map off of Justus.
Yeah, this is I mean, like, this is probably the best situation that you would want to be in on the side of Koolin. 7-5 against Justus Roco. Looking great looking better by the minute, honestly. Koolin are here to play, and it is clearly working out for them. Like it really is just getting better and better for them as the games go on. Like it can't be any worse than that. Like it's they're looking great doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe this isn't a map that Justice is too familiar with what they want to do with this new roster. Even small roster changes like trading out one player, trading out frag out for Pixie. It can be a major situation when you're trying to have coordination and teamwork and things like that. When
Mhm.
you're used to one player doing one thing or saying something, and then now all of a sudden they aren't doing or saying that. Oh, is he going to be able to get him off? Yes,
Oh,
he's able to
nice.
find the headshots, and he's going to get full killed. Yeah, you can't be doing that. At least he got the plant down, though, so that is something working for them. They're going to be downing Ink as well already. Ooh, but some nice shots coming in
Oh,
out
wonder he
of this
got.
Koolin squad. And now it's down to
Oh,
a 2v2. Pixie on the runway. He's going to be not hitting
oh,
that one. Is he going to re-peek it, though? That's the question. He's in a war up top. Pixie isn't able to put any bullets on him.
oh, wow.
Wow, and Koolin, they are going to be moving on. 2-1 advantage in the series for Justus right now. I got to give props to Koolin. They did an amazing job
Mhm.
during that last round specifically. I could tell that the communication is extremely on point.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like having a lead just like that, 8-5. I mean, that's once again, it looked better than the other matches it is that we saw them actually play in earlier in this set. I mean, once again, the score was 2-0, but now we're sitting at a 2-1. A team that really it has been shocking everyone is now 1 point or from 1 point away, one game away from tying it up and taking us to a game five now.
Yeah, I'd be extremely excited if that were to happen. Let's go ahead and check out the replays from this last match, this last map, excuse me, that we witnessed. Man, oh man, such a beautiful series we've had with these two teams so far. Some amazing plays coming out. Ink doing what he does with the revolver pistol, really able to put in that work the entire time. We've seen some amazing highlights for sure. Two mollies coming out, getting it down. And that is just so incredible. Nice
Yeah.
headshots coming out. Ink is just so talented, man. Hitting that snap, it just does
Mm.
not miss, man. He is just an absolute beamer with whatever gun you want to put in his hand. And I got to give props, man, because listen, this Justus team, they are not an easy team to take out on any map in the game. So
Mm.
being able to beat them on this map specifically, big props to them. But now you got to see them on King of the Hill yet again. And that is going to be a very interesting situation for them that I'm not sure they're ready for.
And so far, just as Roco have specifically, Breach has not necessarily been the most impactful, or I should say, really interesting map that we've seen throughout today. Most of the time, people have just been tying things up 1-1 and making it a 7-7, right? When we're talking about Right Turtle and things of the sort. But here we are where they lose once again on Breach. It may just not be the map for them, and that's okay. That's very possible that that may just be the situation. But once again, they are still at least 2-1. We are going to a game four, and Koolin have been looking great in terms of their adaptation, making sure that the score is 8-5. I mean, you can't ask for a better situation than this. We're going to King of the Hill, and I believe we are going to King of the Hill on Wanted, which is the newer map. So,
Oh yeah, exactly. You said that the
mm,
last map wasn't theirs. Maybe this one isn't either. I haven't gotten to see these two teams play it out on this map specifically yet. But Wanted King of the Hill,
mm,
I think teams are starting to understand the rotations. They understand the C hill can be such a strong money hill on this specific map. You're able to lock down that entire alley of that backside spawn area, and then you're good to go for pretty much the whole time once you get a team wipe. So I'm gonna be looking for those C rotations early, as well as the early B rotations, because B is nothing to be played with either. You can lock down the B
mm.
spawns and make sure they have to flood you from only two ways on the map. So I think overall, Wanted has been a great King of the Hill map. It's a great addition to the map pool that we have here at Rogue Company for competitive, and I can't wait to see
Mhm.
how it's going to be played today.
Yeah, same here, honestly. I mean, once again, we've seen a variety of different maps, a plethora of different maps throughout today. And once again, as we are getting things ready for game four, I will be interested to see how all of this is going to play as a huge role, really. I mean, once again, like I think one of the biggest things that they had to keep in mind beforehand was how they were adapting to a lot of the strategies that were going on. Once again, they were sticking a little bit too much to A. A really wasn't working out, but every time they went B on the side of Justus Roco, they were able to make things work for them, and it just worked out. Like I definitely think that maybe a little bit more of a quicker realization could have potentially been the thing. Like B side is a lot harder to be able to stop them from getting onto side 4. A seems like you're playing into so many different angles, and it makes it that much more difficult to do that, right? So Scorch and Lancer have found themselves to the ban columns once again. The likely suspects, typically what you would expect. Really, you would pretty much see Scorch and Vibe, but instead it's Lancer. They're finding more value out of the Lancer and more pressure out of the Lancer than they are with anything else. It seems like.
I think that the big reason as well why they're banning the Lancer, like I said,
Mhm.
Delina, even Pixie on that Lancer can really cause some havoc and mayhem. So I'm excited to see right now. Vi, like you said, it's up, it's on the board. So we should be seeing that locked in by both of these squads. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Dahlia mixed with a Mac in here as well. We know we've come to love seeing the Mac plays. That extra armor can come in so clutch.
Mhm.
We're just waiting to see what these squads are going to be locking in. I could assume that there's going to be a Kestrel and Dallas on each side. We just got to wait and find out.
Yeah, seems like right now, as they are locking in the Mac, you have Dallas, Vi, Mac, and potentially Kestrel. Most of the time, we see people hovering these characters. They do actually commit to locking them in. On the opposite side, we see the Vi, we see the Mac, Kestrel, and Phantom, as opposed to the Dallas that we see mirrored on the other side. This is almost an exact copy of the same drafts, but instead, once again, the Phantom and Dallas are the two differentiators here. Honestly, using that nano smoke not only for just cover, able to apply a different amount of pressure, and if you try and push through it, you will be revealed and probably lit up like a Christmas tree. So I can only imagine that Phantom is going to be sort of the Phantom and probably Mac are probably going to be the crux of these the crux of Koolin's team, because I feel like both of those characters have very strong abilities that really can turn the tide of any fight.
Not completely understand that. That makes complete sense on your end. Just looking at these compositions. I think that overall, them not going to Dallas is a very interesting pick. Not
Mm-hmm.
taking that second stem shot character, opting to go for the Phantom instead. Even though the Phantom has sticky sensors, even though the Phantom has a lot of great things, she just I don't think that she brings as much to the table currently as a Dallas does in Respawn. We just got to see how they're going to play it, though. This squad in Koolin, they've got the world in front of them. The world is yours,
Mm-hmm.
Koolin. Time to take it.
Yeah, it seems like right now, once again, as everyone lands, but I am going to be curious to keep my eye on this Phantom and this Mac. Like the nano smoke really can be a end all be all sort of situation. And you really have to clear off the site when that happens, right? Because you can't see them, but they can see you. That nano smoke plays a huge role. Sin with so many downs off of the Halo drones. He got 3, I believe, off of the A site. No one's on it yet, but with some kills like that, they will be able to filter on after the fact. Koolin, 5-0, just to start things off with the points. They are garnering more points by the second on Wanted.
Exactly. That's what you have to do. You do not have an option. They're doing a very good job of that, like you stated. He's getting taken out, though. And anytime you're able to get this early hill time, it's just so massive. We see right now, they're trying to contest it. Man, Kaons is just staying alive. But he's going to get taken out finally by that Molly. So that means that Justus is going to be able to get some points on the board for this next hill. You can see Ink, he's going to be fighting for these backside spawns of this B hill. You're going to be taking out the Mac right there. Nice plays. Kaons is going to be holding down this angle on B Street, making sure that nobody can come through the backside of this B hill. And I think I'm a fan of it, actually. Wow, what a nade coming out by Kaons. Playing right on Gronky's head right there. Trades are coming out still from the side of Justus, even with the success that Kaons has found. And now you got to start thinking, okay, are we going to keep on coming up, or are we going to rotate on early over to C, which is on the opposite side of the map?
Yeah, right now, they are at least going to try and make their way onto the objective, as they are at least fighting, utilizing as much util as they possibly can, clearing close corners, and obviously keeping longer holds over different ones. Maybe not so close corners. They're at least going to find a couple trades here and there, but Justus are still looking great holding on to this side. I mean, 45 seconds afforded to them so far, to the 16 that Koolin have right now.
Exactly. They're doing a very good job. You can see Sinmade, he's actually the one playing that rotator position. And Delina, he's trying to fight him out as he has control of these up top of the spawns area up here. And once this hill pops, they should be able to get some really good hill time. They've already got 2 players down. They've got Delina in the power position, and he is not missing. They take out 3 players, and they're going to be getting the spawns. Look at how far away they are spawning.
Yeah.
That is what I mean by this is such a power position for a hill. If you can get a team wipe, it's pretty much set. It's pretty much curtains. I'm gonna be honest. It's very difficult to retake it because 1, your team is going to be spawning there with you if you do have a player get taken out. 2, the enemy team's got to spawn a mile away. So I like this play overall by the side of Justus to be able to get a lot of money on this money hill, if you will.
Let's stick right now, and also plants down the flash as well. I mean, you got to be careful, push it in on this one. Lets it go a little bit early. It is going to let it rip. Don't think that's necessarily the best play, but it is going to at least allow him to stall out for a little bit longer. Try to see if they can take the fight. Has to be able to win this one. He does. Sin comes around the corner and takes care of picks. 25 seconds still remaining for this current objective before we move to the final one in the mansion.
Exactly. Sinmade right now, he is hanging out on this truck, just getting this scrap time. Ready for this final D hill. I don't think anyone's going to be contesting him. Now, this final D hill, it is a war. Let me just say that. Like, it's not even like, I don't even know how to describe this last hill. It's not like you're going to war and it's chaotic. It has to be systematically taken over. You have to wipe essentially the whole team if you ever want to get control of this. You have to clear out library, have to clear out everywhere. But there's 5 doors, 5 entrances that you can come into this hill from. You got the balcony, you got each window, and you got each staircase. So there's literally 5 directions you have to cover at the same time. That's why holding this one is extremely hard. Breaking it, it can be very, very easy.
Yeah, so far, right now, it seems like things are becoming a little bit more of a problem. Elvin is going to get taken out. Same thing for Haitian, 124 to 150. As Koolin are still backpedaling, reeling from the pressure that Justus Roco is able to apply onto them. Try to see if they can at least get ink. They know that he's playing close, but the fact that they're drawing it, he's at least drawing attention towards him, means that there'll be more points that they garner for themselves on the objective. They try and make it in, tries to cross over, but Cal, Elvin, both are going to go down. Dallas snaps his fingers, reveals it, and at least is able to get one. Haitian finds 1 kill, but the rest of them on Justus Roco are having a good time, I'm sure. They are in control right now. Not many points on the side of Koolin, and that's 1 round already done. They are on set point for Justus Roco at this current point in time. 1 more win, and they will be going on to grand finals.
Yes, and they are going to be facing that team in Right Turtle that knocked them down 2 losers in the first place. So it's going to be definitely a lot of hype between these 2 teams if they are going to be able to clutch up and win this next round. They got to win 1 out of the next 2. They've got the economy for it. Looking at the money that's in their pocket, they are looking very nice to be able to make some noise here for sure.
It seems like for the time being that they are at least playing a little bit further back. They're just wanting to use the util first. They are at least able to take out Gronky, but the Halo drones come right on through and manage to get a good down on a Haitian. Sin will be the next one that follows suit. But Elvin is looking like he will be next, served up on the menu, tries to fight, gets him low, but isn't enough to take him out. 22 points to currently Koolin 0. Sin has to find some sort of way to make it in. He does. His team comes around to help as well. Only a couple of shots afforded to the enemy, but still it's enough to keep Sin alive and at a pixel worth of HP.
Yeah, it was just literally a barely such a small amount. That player's going to be hopping in the window, though. And Ink ended up winning that one. My goodness, wow. What a play by Ink right there. So they're going to be rotating around. As the Ink already has control for the B hill. That's major for this Justus squad. If he's going to be able to keep on rotating like this, it's going to be extremely difficult for this squad in Koolin to be able to win, because you've got to win your rotations, and if Ink is beating you every single time, that's just going to be a major problem.
So far, they have made it to the next objective. They take care of Haitian. Are looking for more opportunities right now. Sticks himself with the stem, and they're finding so many kills. That's a full-on team wipe for Justus Roco. Snaps his fingers, trying to find out who's next. Tries to see who is on the reveal here as he moves in through mid. trying to see if he can make his way over to the next objective. He's going to get there super early, and they're winning fights without him.
Yeah, doing exactly what they need to right now, as they already have a 70-point lead, looking to add on to it. We talked about having those rotations for the next, so gotta start looking at that mini map as these players Sin made already going to be creeping over toward this next hill. Big down by Kaon's able to take out Delina in the middle. He gets traded out though. Now Galaxy, he's going to start to come over to this C hill, but man, Ink was able to win another rotation fight. Such a big play out of Ink yet again. And now these players are going to be pushing up this long side door. That Stalker, he's going to be able to get real close to him and real personal. He's going to be able to take him out. And I got to say, Justus right now, they are running away with this round.
It seems like right now the Phantom's trying to swing out wide, seeing if they can fight by the armored truck. 24 HP to her name. She has to wait for the region to take effect. Her teammates have rounded the corner. He's trying to help them out as best they can. Haitian goes down. Sin, Elvin, both are going to get taken out here. The nade cooked up and served on a platter. That's 2 free kills. And more change in the back pocket. There's not much time left. They take care of Dronky, but they have to find some sort of way to contest. The Phantom goes down here. That might be all she wrote for this round, this game, and this losers bracket finals. That will be it. And they move on to grand finals to see if they can take on Right Turtle once again and see how well they can actually win this, if they can win this time.
Exactly, man. What an amazing losers finals that we just witnessed between these two squads. Big props to Koolin. Even though your tournament is done, still going to be very excited for you guys as a whole, as a team. You guys did an amazing job. Can't give you more props, but hey, at the end of the day, got to give props to the winners. So big shout out to Justus for being able to overcome this squad in Koolin, who has knocked out so many talented teams already. And now they're going to be moving on to the grand finals, and they're going to be going up against Right Turtle. It's going to be Justus versus Right Turtle, ladies and gentlemen. I've said it a million times in the past, and I'm saying it again. So we get to look at this amazing breakdown of the series as Justus was able to win it 3-1. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the replays from this series. We got Pixie. He's on that runway, and anytime he's got a sniper in his hands, it is going to spell trouble for the other squad, and he was doing just that the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Runway being drafted 3 out of the 4 games it is, I believe, that we saw was, I mean, she is a powerful character, really a strong rogue, and you have to be worried about how you approach the fights from that point on. Sin rotating around, making sure he gets those kills, still an amazing play by them. Koolin definitely felt like they definitely had some great rounds, honestly, and I understand that they were doing a couple of strategies that may have not worked out for them, but it was still something to be able to at least get a game off of Justus Roco. This is how they're doing this final showdown. Then I would be, I would just completely be shocked, you know, like come next showdown, how this actually could end up working out. Really, like I'm just floored with how this has all been going so far.
But yeah, big time, and you can see right here, Ink, the double mollies, my goodness, coming out, able to get both of them. Beautiful plays all around from him. These replays coming out just show how good these players really are, man. They are the best of the best for a reason. We're going to be seeing them in the grand finals for a reason as well. It is going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket after these replays, because man, oh man, there it is. You guys saw it, the winners finals. Right Turtle ended up taking out Justus, knocking them down to the losers bracket where they had to play Koolin. But guess what? They overcame and are going to find themselves in the grand finals yet again. Right Turtle versus Justus. It's been a couple months since we got these two teams in the grand finals facing off against each other. And right now it's time to see who has what it takes to take home that $6,000 first place prize in this $10,000 main event, because second place is great with 2,000. But let's be honest, that 6,000 is looking very, very pretty. So Justus, they're going to have to win two best of fives against this Right Turtle squad. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is 2 best of fives that they are going to need to win. Right Turtle, they only need to win 1. This is Right Turtle versus Justus, best 2 teams that have ever came into Rogue Company. You guys are not going to want to miss it. Trust me, this is going to be an action-packed finals filled with so many amazing plays. So be tuned. We'll be right back. So don't go anywhere, all right? We'll see you guys after a short break.